Could we see a huge price increase for this stock next week? Today I want to talk again about the SPAC that has made SPACs great again. The stock is of course Digital World Acquisition Corp, ticker DWAC. The huge interest here has cooled off over the past week, but I feel there is still huge gains to be made from this. After initially seeing a huge price increase and then dropping back down, DWAC is still about 500% up from its IPO price. But this stock has become one of the most shorted stocks on the market, and this provides another huge opportunity in the right conditions. If you're new to the channel and want to hear more about exciting stocks about to make huge gains, then hit that like and subscribe button. I'm not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice. I encourage everyone to do your own research if you're thinking about investing in this or any other stock. Now let's dive into it. DWAC currently has the highest notional short interest among SPACs. This was the most popular stock in the world a few weeks back, but if you're new to this, I will cover this briefly. DWAC is the SPAC or Special Purpose Acquisition Company that is gearing up to take Trump Media and Technology Group TMTG public. Trump Media's focused entity has been accorded an initial enterprise value of $875 million. For its part, TMTG plans to utilize the $293 million in cash that is already held in trust by Digital World Acquisition Corp to launch a dedicated social media platform, Truth Social. Additionally, TMTG also intends to launch a subscription-based, non-woke video-on-demand service to rival Disney and Netflix, as well as a cloud-based offering under the Tech Stack suite of products to rival Amazon and Google. This SPAC currently has the highest in-class notional share interest at $318 million. This corresponds to an SI of 16.98% of Digital World Acquisition's entire float, behind only Altimeter Growth Corporation with an SI of 34% of its float. So on one hand, the bull's perspective is that this SPAC is an opportunity to tap into Trump's committed base of supporters in order to extract maximum possible value from the former president's media-focused initiatives. And on the other hand, the bear perspective is that this SPAC is nothing more than a hyped-up cash repository. As an illustration, assuming no redemptions, Digital World Acquisition's current cash balance amounts to only $7.87 per share based on the $293 million in cash proceeds held in trust and the 37 million outstanding shares. In other words, the SPAC shareholders are currently paying $64 to acquire a share that entails a windfall of just $7.87. This itself presents a no-brainer short if one assumes that TMTG's initiatives aren't financially viable in the long run. Now this is something that I've spoke about in I think all of my previous DWAC videos. We have no financials, we have no data on TMTG. We're basically investing in the hope that this company can become a huge company. We've seen their investors' presentation, we've seen their vision. Whether or not they can actually achieve it is debatable. But this is where I feel this article gets very interesting. DWAC sponsors, led by Patrick Orlando, CEO, will receive the entirety of the funder shares up front. Additionally, all WAC shareholders will be subjected to a post-merger lockup period of just 150 days should the stock price stay above $12 per share. So we've seen SPACs go crazy last year and into early this year. Everyone will remember Churchill Capital, CCIV, that is now Lucid. That stock was talked up as if it was going to be in the hundreds of dollars before it came crashing down. And we've seen an even bigger crash in the likes of QuantumScape, which reached as high as $132 before crashing down into the 20s. Since then, however, we have seen incentives for sponsors hugely curtailed, with founder shares now generally being awarded only when certain performance milestones are met. For example, should the TMTG price consistently stay above $30 in the post-merger phase, TMTG owners would receive an additional 40 million shares of the combined company. At the current stock price, and by adding in the proposed 40 million bonus shares and warrants, the entire post-combination company could be worth as much as $11 billion. So the conclusion of this article says that Digital World acquisitions, elevated stock price and its soaring short interest are symptoms of a fundamental battle around its narrative. If TMTG's ambitious initiatives pan out, then they will justify the stance of the bulls. However, given the deal's structure, the odds are currently stacked against the bullish narrative. But I feel that given the level of short interest in this company right now, this presents another possible opportunity. Total short interest in the SPAC sector had been declining over the past few months as large SPAC short positions such as CCIV, IPOE and SPE were all de-SPACed. But we have seen a recent rise in SPAC short interest, and most of this increase can be attributed to new short selling activity in DWAC. This can be seen here very clearly in the short interest percentage, and we can see here that the majority of the SPAC short selling, DWAC's short interest increased by $318 million as its stock price rose over 500% in October. Looking at TradingView, we can see the huge run up that this stock had, followed by a huge drop. After reaching $175, it then dropped as low as $54 before gaining back into the mid-70s. From this point on, we can see that DWAC has been hitting both lower highs and higher lows, which is clearly forming this descending wedge. This can be seen as a very bullish signal of a breakout upward movement. At the moment, DWAC's trading volume has dropped very low, and with low volume, DWAC is still holding its value in this range. But I suspect that if we have some good news either tomorrow or over the weekend, we might see a rapid price increase next week. If you were swing trading this and making good profits on the volatility, which there's plenty of, then next week could be a very risky proposition as we approach the pinnacle of this wedge. Now, in my previous video I talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene disclosing that she had invested up to $50,000 in DWAC. And earlier this week, another Republican that he purchased a stake in DWAC worth somewhere between $1,000 and $15,000. As it says here, his investment is the second disclosed DWAC purchase by a member of Congress, after CNBC reported last week Ms. Taylor Greene's share purchase. Another major issue that has dogged DWAC stock over the past week has been the news story that Donald Trump and Patrick Orlando may have violated securities laws with the merger between DWAC and TMTG. This is something that I've been looking at all week, and I've come across some good info, and there's a lot to discuss here. So I'm going to leave this for my next DWAC video that I hope to get out to you sometime on Saturday morning. So guys, that brings it to the end of the video. If you've watched all the way through, then hit that like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. What do you think will happen here in the coming weeks? And is there anything in particular about DWAC that you would like me to discuss? Drop a comment and let me know what you think. If you're new, subscribe and hit the bell notification, and I'll catch you in the next one.